Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're gonna be doing something a little bit different. Gonna be talking about this live stream that Killsamoy did today or yesterday as y'all watch this video, and how ridiculous it is that it took him as much as it did to get the last pieces for Kareem. We're just going to talk through all of this, and I'm going to give my thought process basically on why I think this is so ridiculous. Everything that happened today and kind of how this is indicative of a bigger issue in my team. Not what Killsamoy did specifically. Shout out to Killsamoy. He makes great content. Maybe I'll do a collab with him in the future. Who knows? Maybe not. I doubt it, but maybe. Who knows? Killsamoy, cool dude. I like his content. This is no shade towards him. It's totally cool that he did this, and this is good content for him. It's great content for his channel. It's interesting for people to watch. My problem is not with him doing this. My problem was with that he started with 15 million MT and was opening packs to get GOAT Kareem basically at 24 of 33 GOAT pieces, meaning he needed 9 more GOAT pieces. You would think 9 more GOAT pieces, okay, well, that's probably not going to be that insanely ridiculous to get, but at 15 million MT, it legitimately took him down to, let's see, it's right about here, isn't it? Somewhere around here. Yeah, this should be it here in a second. He's now at 9.2 million MT. This is assuming, by the way, that he has spent, oh wow, he's still at 32. Okay, there you go. You got Kareem right there. 33 of 33, 9.2 million MT. Now, it is absolutely entirely possible that he spent significantly more than 6 million MT. Number one, I didn't go through the full 3 hours and 45 minutes that it took him to open this many packs on stream to see what he sold and try to factor that in and stuff like that. I'm sure certain cards added to this, but we can just say on a safe estimate, not including any of the things we'll include, just factor in a little bit of quick sell stuff, but not factoring in cards he probably sold. This is easily a over 6 million MT pack opening. Would not surprise me in the slightest if it's 7 to 8 million MT to get 9 GOAT cards. And that is with him exchanging the pieces into the higher tier pieces and getting, I'm sure he didn't exchange all the diamonds into pink diamonds and stuff like that, but I'm sure he was exchanging the opals into dark matters and dark matters into 100 overalls and stuff like that. 6 million MT for 9 GOAT pieces. And the thing is, that's pretty in line. Actually, that's worse than what it took me to get 3 GOAT pieces and 5 invincible pieces, which is equivalent to basically 5.5 GOAT pieces. Basically took me a 2.5 million MT on the new account opening singles to get the last 11 invincible pieces I needed for Bob Pettit, which was basically 5.5 GOAT pieces, right? So it took him over 6 million MT to pull 9 GOAT pieces, or basically the equivalent pieces for 9 GOAT pieces of top tier pieces getting exchanged up into higher tier pieces and things of that nature, right? That's insane. Is it not? I mean, is that not absolutely ridiculous? That means that on average for a GOAT piece or the equivalent pieces to get a GOAT piece, on average, you're looking at around 670,000 MT at a very minimum based on the odds from this pack opening. And this is a big MT pack opening. 6 million MT is no joke. That's something that the vast majority of the community will never even see. And that's to get less than a third of Kareem. In order to get Kareem with MT, based on what happened with Killsamoy, what happened with my my new account trying to get Pettit and the pieces for him, from what I've heard from some of the other big spenders in the community in terms of how much it has taken them to get some of these players, legitimately to get Kareem with MT, it is probably over 20 million MT. Is that not a bit insane? And obviously that's not factoring in the fact that people have spent probably $600 at least on Hoff boxes. A lot of the people who are going to get or have gotten Kareem, that people are going to spend, and that's in 2 weeks, $600. Imagine what you could do with $600. Like that's a third of my rent. You know what I mean? That's actually a little bit more than a third of my rent. That is absurd. And people are just throwing that around like it's nothing. You know what I mean? With these Hoff boxes. And you know what? If you got it, you got it. At the end of the day, I don't want to be the guy who sits here and pocket watches, but I do think it is absolutely worth bringing into attention that not only are people spending ridiculous money, but it's kind of the only way. These cards are not attainable realistically any other way unless you have a gigantic stack of MT and already spent a bunch of money. Because here's the thing, Bob Pettit is what, 23 pieces Ronald Test is not worth it, but he's 20, and those are invincible pieces, so that's 11 and a half or goat pieces for Bob Pettit. Realistically, that means with the odds Killsamoy displayed and the odds that I had, you're probably looking at anywhere from 5 to 7 to 8, maybe more, 5 to 8 million MT, depending on how lucky you are, basically, to get Bob Pettit with MT. At least, you know what I mean? It's probably more than 5, realistically. You know what I mean? I think I actually got decently lucky with my pack odds. You're probably looking at 6 to 8 to 9 million MT to get Bob Pettit with MT. He's not even the top card in the set. It's just unattainable. You know what I mean? That's not even the top card. Ron Artest might be at the low end, about 5, at the very low end. It's just insane, is it not? And I think obviously people have talked about how much of a money sink this game has become. And I think that is absolutely 100% worth talking about. And I think people don't talk enough, in all honesty, about the fact that I think a lot of people who can't afford it are spending money on this game anyway. And that is obviously a really concerning thing. I mention it in sometimes in videos, but if you cannot realistically financially afford this and you're having to sacrifice other areas of your life, or you're not making progress towards the future, saving and investing and things like that, and you're blowing all your spare money or just money you actually need on my team, I personally wouldn't recommend that. You know what I mean? I think that's a bad idea. I strongly recommend against that personally. And while you don't have to listen to my advice, I do think you should make smart financial decisions in life that aren't just associated with getting cards in a virtual game that's nobody's gonna be playing in 3 months. And this is my job, but I'll be honest, that's the truth. That's what y'all should, that's what I would recommend for most of y'all. But if you got it, you got it, and that's fine. It's just ridiculous how expensive it is. I mean, Kareem with buying packs. Okay, so let's do a little bit of math real quickly, just for the sake of just trying to make this very clear one last time for how much money-ish you're looking at with Kareem. Because Kareem is, well, it's about, we said about, we'll say Kareem is 20 million MT. So 20 million divided by, I think it's 18,500 is the price of the singles. If not, it's going to be close anyway. Sorry, 20,000, that's 20,000. I should have put 20 million. 20 million right there, I believe, yes, divided by 18,500. It's 1,081 packs. About. Now divide that by 50. If you were opening 51 boxes, that's about $2,100 ish, $2,200 per Kareem. Maybe that feels, even honestly, maybe that's a little low from what I've heard from people in terms of what they were getting for the amount of money they spent. I don't know. I had a guy tell me it took him $600, $700 and 12 million MT to get Kareem, I think is what he said. Something like that. Like, at the end of the day, these are just ridiculous numbers that people that are being thrown around, and it's just insane. And I know it's been talked about, but the lack of accessibility of a card like this, even through MT, is ridiculous. The pack odds have gotten significantly worse for these pieces, and it's just unfortunate. I think it's scummy, and it should be very indicative of why you probably shouldn't be buying into this. And I mean, if you have crazy disposable income, I guess go for it, but you got to realize the top tier cards are just not accessible to the regular people playing this game for the most part at this point. And it's very unfortunate to say that's the truth, but it is. And I just think people have to accept it and come to terms with that if you're going to keep playing the game. You know what I mean? So that is my opinion. I just kind of want to drop a video talking about this because I found this stream interesting and I thought it was worth sharing. Kind of the contents of it and my thoughts on that. So with that being said, that is going to do it for today's video. I hope y'all did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.